안녕하십니까. I am very honored to be invited to this conference. I'd like to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Korean Society of Environmental Education, who present Professor Lee Sun-kyung. The Professor Lee Sun-kyung and all relevant members of your society. I'm very impressed because I joined the MOU between your society and Japanese Society of Environmental Education, when I was president of Japanese Society of Environmental Education. So, two of the society has been built a very close relationship over the years. So I have many friends. So today, I meet friends, my best friends. I'm very happy. So anyway, the current president of Japanese Society of Environmental Education, Professor Suwa, will have a congratulatory greeting tomorrow. So I apologize before my presentation. I accept the invitation to this conference, but I was very busy, so I don't have a time to write a full paper by deadline. So I asked my colleague, my professor, Takahashi, because his major is institutionalization of environmental education. So, but he couldn't attend here. So, anyway, so we decided to write a paper jointly. And today, based on today, I'd like to talk about the situation surrounding environmental education law in Japan. So today, based on my experiences, because I have been engaged in promoting environmental education for near 40 years. 40? So I am unbelievable. So I have been working as an advisor for government and national government, local government, educational institution, companies, private organizations, and so on, to promote environmental education. I have been engaged in almost initiatives such as environmental law and ESD and etc. So check time. Sorry. Okay. This is the overview of environmental education in Japan. So the beginning of environmental education, the 1960s, in Japan, so we have a very severe pollution. So in Japanese, kogai. The word of Japanese, kogai. Kogai means pollution, but very strict, very severe. This word, kogai, become an international word. So kogai. So pollution education and nature conservation education, the roots of Japanese environmental education. 1970s, the introduction of environmental education. Already, from Brazilian case, we import the term of word of environmental education from United States, 1970s, the Environmental Education Act, and a Stockholm United Nations Conference on Human and Environment, the two words from we import. So the environmental science education, environmental study, and environmental education. But the word of environmental education is very, very huge, is not common in 1970. The 1980s, the establishment of environmental education. Japan Environmental Education Forum, 1978. And Japanese Society of Environmental Education, 1990, the same. So you were organized society. There are many, several activities with environmental education. The nature classroom, Ministry of Education, nature observation forest, Ministry of Environment, and others. 1990, the development of environmental education, basic environmental education law. This is the first law, so including the term of environmental education and environmental learning. So the environmental education guidance materials, the subject, the elementary subject, life and environment. Nature school. Nature schools are organized by mainly NGOs and actors, national government, business sectors established. And the water science school, Ministry of Construction. Rice Paddy School, Ministry of Agriculture, Junior Eco Club, Ministry of Environment, there are many. 2000, the emergence of environmental education in broad sense, what means ESD. So the period of integrated study is the very good time. So the United Nations decade of ESD. After, so I explain this one. The Japanese NGO, I proposed this decade to Japanese government. And Japanese government and we so proposed the United Nations. And this decade influenced Japanese parliament members to make an Environmental Education Promotion Act. And the business sector done environmental education through CSR. 2010, the evolution of ESD, SDGs, already you mentioned. And in Japan, the big issue is the depopulation. So the regional revitalization with ESD, and that's very common. And Japanese government promote ESD and environmental education through UNESCO associated schools. It's a model school of ESD. And ESD Resource Center with Japan, so we established that Japanese government, Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Education, and civil society, we established this center. This is a very right pointer. This is a number of appearance of a word, environmental education or environmental learning in 3 major newspapers in Japan. So this one. So 2002 is the most influence appearance. And the change of scope of environmental education. So the 1990s, from 1990s to after 1990s. It's a three environmental education field: natural system, life system, global system. But after 1990s, so overlap this area, so comprehensive system. I named comprehensive environmental education. So later, I propose United Nations decade of ESD, because this we call ESD in Japan. So narrowly defined environmental education from to broadly defined environmental education. This figure is an overview of institutionalization of environmental education in Japan. So, already I mentioned the basic law for environmental basic law for environmental pollution control. I mentioned that Japan pollution is very, very severe. So this is the first integrated environmental. This is a first integrated environmental law. But there are no word of environmental education. And after Rio Summit, our summit, 1992, so the Japanese government, they make a new law based on international, global issues. So change basic environmental law. This including a word of a term of environmental education and environmental learning, but just word. And on base this law, cabinet make a basic environmental plan every 5 years. The second basic environmental plan include promotion environmental education. It's the first time in the field of environment. And what is I mentioned World Summit on Sustainable Development, Johannesburg. So we propose in a decade of ESD. So this is very, very influential to Japan. So Environmental Education Act on enhancing motivation on environmental conservation and promotion of environmental education. But very, very long name. Because originally, 2 acts, not 1 act, 2 acts. Not only environmental education, but also another one. Mix into it. So the parliament member after this summit, they have interest about environmental education. And before 2002, although there was a request for enactment of Environmental Education Act, but it could not be realized because of the legislative fact necessary for enactment. So in diet in the parliament. So the parliament member ask about environmental education. Always Minister of Environment asked to me about answers. Anyway, so we would like to make Environmental Education Act, but cannot. But the UNESCO summit, after UNESCO summit, many parliamentarians and NPOs or enacting the Environmental Education Act increase. Because the parliament member some parliament members want to make an Environmental Education Act. So we push. And this legislative fact is no need because parliament members make themselves. So anyway, so that this new act, and the same important act or law influence to Environmental Education Act. So this amended Basic Act on Education. And this law is very, very important. And after this, I explain. And this act, Environmental Education Promotion Act, change every 5 years. So after our first act, so amended this act. And the Japanese Ministry of Education made environmental education guidance materials. First materials in 1991, and several times. And the course of study, very, very important for school education. I explained after. And recently, so SDGs, very, very influent to environmental education and ESD. And change in the definition of environmental education in the Environmental Education Act. This is the first act and second act amended. The first act, just environmental conservation, just. And amended very widely. 1-0? The very become wide. So just environmental conservation, but so very wide. Social society. This is amended. And last year, so the 2017, it actually amended, but not amended, just basic policy, change basic policy only. So the Environmental Education Act of Japan, Environmental Education Promotion Act in Japan, so this has a whole major aspect. These are environmental conservation activities, increasing the will to protect the environment, environmental education, collaborative effort, just for emphasize. Our main activities based on the Act plan and etc. of environmental education and collaborative activities of local government, restoration of business such as personal certification, development of the basic facilities, certification of the place of experience opportunities, promotion of collaboration effort. The effective of Act, already I mentioned the definition of environmental education. It was clearly stated the goal of environmental education was to build a sustainable society, and it became an opportunity for environmental education to spread, to work across the environment, economy, society, and culture. And environmental education training for school teachers has become a national responsibility. The problem or issue of Environmental Education Promotion Act. The action plan of the local government, the certification of the place of experience opportunities, etc., have not spread yet. This law is managed by 5 ministries: Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Economy, and the Ministry of Agriculture, and the Ministry of Construction. But in practice, it is an effort of only 2 ministries, Ministry of Education and Ministry of Environment. Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Education, especially Ministry of Environment only. Very big issue. And the environmental education related activities of this law, this act, are not compulsory, but encouraged, just encouraged. So their effectiveness is very low. But also we have, in Japan, we have many actual law related to environmental education. So the latest law, its name is the Act on Promotion of Consumer Education, 2012. This recommended consumer education integrated to environmental education and others, also ESD. And there are many laws and acts related to environmental education. But although there are many laws and acts promote environmental education like this, not only there is no plan to promote environmental education as a whole and totally, because the relevant ministries are disjointed, but environmental educators don't know this issue too. And already I mentioned the very important law and act to Environmental Education Act. This one is the Basic Education Act and Environmental Education. Sorry, so I exhaust my time. So this is another one. Every 5 years, cabinet must make a educational promotion basic plan based on education basic law. This 2008 first phase educational promotion basic plan, emphasize ESD. as environmental education. This is a very latest plan, 2018, the third phase educational promotion basic plan. Improve the activities of UNESCO school that Japan has positioned as a base of promoting ESD and to create a sustainable society. The another basic plan, the fixed environment basic plan, promote ESD too. The course of study, very, very important to school education. Latest 2017 and 2018. Probably, creating a sustainable society, very, very important. And general rule to be creator of sustainable society. So the course of study, including the environmental education, the ESD, the environmental education. The aim of education, one of aim of education, to create sustainable society. This is the first time in course of study in Japan. Very, very important. Conclusion. Integrated study is a very, very good subject, but also number of classes now has been significantly reduced in 2008 and 2017. And Japanese UNESCO Commission promote ESD and UNESCO School Network and Consortium. A new educational challenge caused by Great East Japan earthquake and the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant accident have emerged to change the education. In the official curriculum guideline, course of study devised in 2017, 2018, since the formation of a sustainable society is one of the main goals of school education. And education ESE will continue to be promoted. And ESE Resource Center, so a national center and 8 regional centers established by Ministry of Education and Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Education. And the private sector is promoting environmental education and ESE through the ESE promotion network. And SEGs. This environmental education by current Japanese administration is promoted ESD. This move will be more widespread with the spread of SEGs. So it is necessary to reconfirm the relationship between environmental education in narrow sense and environmental education in a broader sense, that is ESD. So we must think. This is additional information. So this one, ESD Resource Center. Thank you very much.